Well, hey, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us here at Connect Group. You are sitting right in the middle of the mission and the vision that we have here at the Heart, and that is to connect people to the heart of God. And we believe that that happens the best in groups. We're all on a journey of faith together, where you're starting at the very beginning and you're still wrestling with what it means to believe in God, or if you've known Jesus for 20 years, we're all on a journey and trying to learn what that means together. We believe that that happens best in these groups. So before we get started on tonight, I want to encourage you, if you are getting anything out of these groups or maybe out of this group tonight, I want to encourage you to be brave and bold and invite someone to group with you next week. Because if you are taking steps in this journey of faith and these groups help you, then they're going to help someone that you know, someone that you have in your life. So I want to challenge you to bring someone with you next week to this Connect group or to another group that we have. So I'm excited because this week we are launching a brand new Thursday night group. So if you're watching this on Thursday, you guys are amazing. And for any other day of the week, I want you to be praying for and encouraging the Thursday night group. And I want to say thank you so much for our leaders and hosts that make these groups happen in the first place. So thank you for what you do. Now, if I haven't said it already, my name is Dominic Insenius. I'm the leader here at The Heart, and we are going to go over some questions today. There are based on the message that we talked about on Sunday. And if you weren't at church or you've never been to the Heart or you haven't listened to the podcast, it's no problem. You can still be a part of the conversation. The questions are worded in a way to whether you were there or not, you can still be a part of that. So I want to jump into the questions. Now, I want to give you a little bit of what we're talking about. This series that we're in is called Strings Attached. And in this series, what we're looking at is the different strings that we attach to these things in our life, whether it be church or prayer or faith or money or relationships. And this past Sunday, we looked at what it means to attach strings to relationships, the conditions that we have in the relationships. And the main thing that we looked at this Sunday is one of the strings that we attach to relationships is we will put in as much effort as somebody else. I will if you will. If you reach out, then I'll reach back out to you. And what we want to do is be able to choose love and reach forward to others without relying on how they're going to treat us. So the first question tonight is going to kind of deal with some relationships we have in our life. And some of these questions can be a little deep, but we believe that that is where we can grow the most. So if you don't feel comfortable sharing, then do not share. If you want to give it a shot and you're still a little bit nervous, I want to encourage you to be brave and to be bold. So the first question is, I want you to take some time and describe a time in your history, maybe recently or not, where someone you knew, they didn't act the way that you predicted they would act. Someone that you trust, someone in your life, you thought they would act a certain way when something happens, and they didn't act the way you thought. And I want to know how that affected your trust. Let's say you told somebody something, you told them a secret, they didn't keep it a secret, and that was outside of the way that you predicted they would act. How did that affect your trust for them? And what I also want to know is, part of that question, maybe a second part is, does that ever happen with you in your relationship with God? Do you, in your relationship with God, expect God to act a certain way or do certain things, and when He doesn't, it affects your trust for Him? So let's take a little bit of time, dig into that together. Don't be afraid to get messy. There's no right or wrong answers. I want to encourage you to explore this question and to be on this journey and be okay with where you are on this journey of faith. So let's take some time, figure that out together, and see what we come up with. All right, now this next question has to do with the things that get in the way of us living the life that we want, or us being able to be in connection or relationship with the people that we want. What I want you to be able to do is describe a time or talk about a time when you allowed either anger or hatred or bitterness to get in the way of you living your life the way you want, you living your life the way that you believe that God designed you to live and wants you to live. And in connection with that, talking about that, when someone prevented you because of your anger with them or your bitterness with them, prevented you from you living the life the way you want to, how have you resolved that? And if it's not resolved, why not? What is keeping you from resolving that with that person. So I want to take some time to dig into that. And if you want, some of the scriptures that we read for this Sunday were in Luke, and we also looked at Proverbs, and we also looked at the book of First Corinthians. And what I want you to do is look at the book of Proverbs for this one. Proverbs 10:12. It speaks to this on what it looks like when we allow hatred, anger, or bitterness to control how we are treating others. So let's dig into that together and see what you guys come up with. All right, now for the third question tonight, I want us to take some time and to look at what it means to treat others the way they treat us, or what prevents us from treating others the way that they want to be treated or the way that we want to be treated. So I want you to look at Luke 6:31 for this. You can look at your different translations and feel free to read different translations. But the question I have for you is, why do you feel that we allow the way others treat us to determine how we are going to treat others? Where does that come from? Why do you think we do that? And what do you think we can do to change that? What do you think we can do to grow from that? And if you're bold enough, why do you let the way others treat you determine how you're going to treat them, and what can you do to change that? So let's take some time to look at that, and I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. All right, the last question has to do with the people that we have in our life. I want to know this week, who are you going to do something for? And here's what I mean. Who in your life can you challenge yourself to show love, patience, peace, kindness to them before they have a chance to show it to you? Who is that person and why them? What is it about that relationship that you want to challenge yourself with there? So let's go ahead and dig into that. This is the last question for tonight, so I'm going to leave you guys with this. I'm so grateful for you. I love you guys too much. We'll see you this Sunday at 9:30 or 11. Don't forget to invite someone to church. If you're getting something out of it, then somebody else will. So you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk to you soon.